my YouTube channel. My name is Abisola Oluojo and I film about family, faith and lifestyle from Perth, Western Australia. If you're new here, welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you're returning, hi guys, welcome to my channel again. In today's video, I want to share productivity hacks that have literally changed my life and helped me on my journey as a busy mom, doing a full-time job, managing my own businesses and many other things I have going on in my life. So as women generally, I know that we have so many things going on where we're constantly thinking about everybody else except ourselves. So it can get overwhelming, it can get very exhausting, and we end up feeling really burnt out and all. But these hacks and habits are things that have helped me so far, and I'm sure they'll help you too. So if you're interested, please keep watching. So the first one I want to share today is speaking to your day. Literally commanding your day. This is what I do every morning. And honestly, guys, I only began in January this year because I had so many things going on in my life and I was feeling very exhausted and just so stressed that I had to start speaking positive things about my day and literally telling my day what I wanted to do for me. Guys, the power of life and death is in the tongue. So what that means is that I'm either speaking life or speaking death or not speaking at all. So I choose to speak life into my day. So that can involve things like waking up in the morning and saying things. Say, for example, it's a Monday morning. I can say things like, Monday, please behave yourself. All things are working for my good today. I have joy, I have peace, I enjoy favor, I embody favor. Nothing is stressing me out today. I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to get angry. I have control of my emotions. And what this does for me is it conditions my mind and it patterns my thinking. So even if during the course of the day, something isn't working out the way I want it to, I am already soaked in my confessions. So I remember what I said in the beginning of the day and I allow it start to decide or determine how my day pans out. So I don't let anything that happens around me become contrary to my confessions, because I believe that positive affirmations equal to positive results. So more like relentless optimism. I'm just being optimistic throughout the entire day, no matter what happens. So this just controls, it makes me feel like I'm in control of my day. So at the end of the day, I just look back and I feel like, oh yeah, it's been a good day. And I attribute that to my confessions, the way I began my day. So guys, you can take this on, wake up in the morning, say what you want to experience, proclaim positivity, positive things. Your thoughts would align with your day. Your affirmations will align with your day. You can make this something you do repeatedly. It might not happen the first day, but I believe that the more you repeat these habits, the more you begin to experience the results. Guys, it's working for me now, and I think that if you take it on, it will be helpful for you as well. Okay, so the second habit that I'm forming, to be honest, this one is something I've always done, and I will attribute it to my upbringing. Growing up, my dad would insist that before we go to bed, we clean up the entire house. So do the dishes, clean up the room, get your clothes ready for school the next morning. We used to do all our chores a night before. So right now, I feel like I'm more grateful for that upbringing because I appreciate it more now. So the second point would be, try not to pile up your chores. I feel like if you pile up your chores, it has a likelihood to increase your stress levels. Especially for me, I find that if I happen to leave any chores left till the next morning, say for example, my dish is full of dirty plates, I don't do them that night. I wake up in the morning, I'm trying to make my kids' lunchbox for the day, and I have dirty dishes everywhere. I'm already stressed, guys. It already increases my stress levels. So right now, I prefer to get everything done a night before. So when I wake up the next morning, I'm refreshed, my environment motivates me, everything is clean and ready to go. I'm set out and ready to start the day's challenges. But if I leave everything the next morning and I come to the kitchen and it's all dirty, I can become cranky almost immediately. So what I do now is, if I'm walking around my house and I see something that needs to be done and it won't take me less than 2 minutes to get it done, I just do it there and then, as opposed to saying, oh, I'll leave it till the weekend, I'll get it done on the weekend. It starts to pile up, guys. And when it piles up, it increases your stress levels because then you have so much to do. And when you don't get everything done, you're even more stressed. You even feel very unproductive. So what I'll say is try your best not to pile up your chores. And this will only be household chores. If you have an email to send, a task to complete, something you have to do for your clients, don't pile them up. Don't procrastinate. Do your best to get it done immediately. And you find that when you've done it already, it's out of the way. You feel very productive. This works for me, especially with household chores. I don't leave them. So what I also do is I tend to designate time for different tasks. So what that would mean for me is I have a day when I'm doing laundry. I have a day when I'm doing grocery shopping. I have a day when I'm spending time with my kids, or more than one day. I have a day when I'm making my daughter's hair. I have a day when I'm doing my son's haircut. So I designate different times for different things, as opposed to just piling them all up and trying to get it done in one day. I probably won't get everything done. I'll start beating myself up that, oh, I couldn't get as much done today. So guys, point here is do them as you go. If you're cooking, you can consider washing your dishes as you're cooking. So any cutleries you use, or bowls or plastics you use while you're cooking, just start washing them immediately. If you're someone who likes to use a dishwasher, once you're done with all the cooking, just chuck them all up in your dishwasher. Don't leave it to the next day, so that the next morning you're feeling refreshed and in control and ready to start your day. This is a key one for me. I never pile up my chores. This will also include decluttering my kids' clothing and toys. I just get it done there and then. Like every morning, first thing I'll do is speak to God, start my day with God, and encourage my children to pray with me. And then I make our beds there and then. I'm also teaching my children to start making their beds first thing in the morning. I never like to leave it till we come back, because when I come back, I want to see a clean kitchen, clean living room, clean bedrooms, and yeah, life just feels easier and lighter when my environment is clean. It just makes me feel very motivated to have a clean environment, and I think this will apply for everybody else also. So the third one, guys, this is a bit funny. Don't judge me, please. I know many other moms do the same thing, so I'm very sure I'm not the only one who does this. So that would be, well, typically my kids have only weekends for screen time. So Monday to Friday, no screens, no tabs, just reading, drawing, painting, and other things, or playing, just general playing. I don't allow them watch their screens during the week. But Friday evenings, they are the happiest because they get screen time. But to be honest, guys, I made the rule so I can break the rule. This is only when I have urgent stuff to do and they just won't let me be. My kids are playing around, screaming, yelling, disturbing, and distracting. I can't be productive that way if I have other things I need to do. Say, for example, complete a client's job, or send an email, or just do something I need to do very urgently. Guys, I break the rule then. I allow them have their screen time, maybe for 40 minutes or 1 hour, depending on how much time I need to get stuff done. So even if I made the rule that no screens during the week, sometimes I break this rule just so I can be productive. Guys, kids can literally drive you crazy, and I don't want to go crazy. So sometimes I break that rule just so I can get something else done. And once I'm done with that task, I take their screens from them. And trust me that this will end up in tears and complaining and crying, but I have the task done and dusted, and guys, now it's time to drop your screen. So yeah, it's okay to break a few rules here and there to help you be productive. We have to be flexible as moms, just because we have so much going on, and there's only so much we can do at the same time, guys. So if you have to include extra screen time sometimes, please do it. Nobody's going to judge you for it. So guys, don't judge me for it. These things happen to the best of moms out there, okay? So the next one is multitasking. I feel like this is a gift every woman is endowed with naturally. We're able to take on so many things at the same time. But let me put it out there that multitasking is not the best every single time. There are situations that require you to be present, like in every way possible, be present. A huge one for me is quality time with my kids. So when I want to spend time with my kids, I try not to do anything else. I try not to be cooking or reading or be on my laptop. I want to spend quality time with them. I want to build memories with them. So don't multitask every time. If you have to be present, depending on what it is for you, be present there and then. But there are other times you can multitask. So for example, if your kids are having their playtime, that would be a good time to be on your laptop and maybe respond to emails you need to respond to. Other scenarios, many scenarios you can, based on your own present circumstances, look at the times where you can multitask. Say, for example, you have your dirty laundry washing in the washing machine. That would be a good time to cook because you don't necessarily have to be there while the washing machine is running. So you can do other things like clean up your bedroom, whatever it is you have to do. So multitasking is a really good habit to develop to be productive, but it's not in every situation that you should multitask. Say, for example, you're frying plantain, Nigeria's fried plantain, yeah? You have to be there by the frying pan. You literally cannot leave plantain when you're frying it. If you just say, okay, I just put it on there on the cooker right now, so I'll take a quick walk to the bedroom and do something in the bedroom. Trust me, when you come back, the plantain is burnt and dry. So for that one, don't multitask. Stay by it and fry it to be well cooked. Don't let it go burning because you're trying to multitask, okay? So the next habit that I'm trying to develop to help me be a very productive mom is to get help when I need help. There's this cloud or sentiment around trying to be a superwoman, trying to be independent, trying to do everything yourself. I don't really encourage it, and I'm speaking to myself here because I like being independent. To a large extent, I tend to do things myself, but this is not always the best because you can get drained very easily, and I don't want to fall sick and not be available for my children or the ones I love. You can't pour out of an empty cup. So if you keep giving, you might run out if you don't get back. So what that would mean is when you need help, get help. If someone offers to help you, raise your arms stretched out wide and accept the help. There's no need to try and form I'm a superwoman. It doesn't help anybody when you're sick, when you're flat out and you can't do anything. So whatever you need to do to stay strong, please do it. I'm a Nigerian, and back home in Nigeria, it's quite easy to get staying helps to help you with basic house chores while you do other things. But where we are now, if you live in a foreign country, it's a bit different where the bulk of your house chores you tend to have to do them by yourself, but there's also chances that you can pay somebody else to get these things done for you. So if you can afford outsourcing house chores, paying someone to clean up your bathroom, clean up your living room, do basic house chores, then why not? Whatever you need to do to get extra help is perfectly fine, and it's understandable that a woman that has so much going on, from time to time, you require extra help. That help can come from your children, so catch them young. From age 4, teach them to do dishes, teach them to clean up their own mess in whatever way they can help you to reduce how much you have to do. Use your children's help, use your spouse's help as well. If you have a good partner, I trust that you do, get them to also help you where they can. If it means changing the baby's nappies, or doing the laundry, or doing the dishes, or whatever it is they can do just to help you, make sure that you get help. Something I do here with my sister is grocery shopping. So if she's going to the store and I can't go, I send her my list and she helps me with the shopping. I do the same for her too when she can't go to the shop. So get help. If someone offers help, please get help. I know so many people still struggle with asking for help. To be honest, guys, I tend to struggle. I prefer that you offer me help. I don't like to ask for help, which is a thing of pride. I'm working on myself, but if you offer me help, I will seize it. I'm learning to accept help when someone offers me help. So yeah, that's that one for that one. What was that? Well, that's that about that. The next one, guys, will be to set realistic goals. A good example will be, for me, I have to-do lists. Mostly on the weekends, I write a list of things I need to get done on my phone, and I go through them. But I find that when I put about 10 to 12 items on my list, I only get like 4 or 5 done, and I start feeling unproductive. So that means I have set an unrealistic goal. What I've learned to do is have a to-do list, but have them in order of priority. So what are the most important things for the day that I need to get done? I focus on getting those done, and I don't worry about the others because they can wait till a later time, right? As opposed to having this really long list, you can't get them all done and you start feeling bad. So instead of having 12 items on your list for the day or for the weekend, break it down to 5 in order of priority. If it's for you, working out in the morning, taking your kids for swim class, grocery shopping, visiting a pregnant friend or whatever the case might be. Prioritize what you need to do. Don't make a very long list, and when you can't get them all done, you start feeling unproductive, you start feeling stressed out. So set realistic goals and get them done in a manner of priority. When you get them all done, if you have 4 items in your list, for example, and you get them all done and you're able to tick every single one, you feel productive, you feel accomplished, that, oh, I've had a really good weekend because I got everything on my list done for the day. So guys, set realistic goals. I'm trying not to put too much on my plate, so I'm only getting the things that need to be done now. I'm getting only those done. Everything that can wait will have to wait till some other time. I don't put too much pressure on myself every day, just so I don't break down and I can be available for those I love. Okay, and I feel like I've been productive that day because I've gotten everything I want to do done. Okay, so the last one I want to share, I feel like is the most important for moms out there, and that's that: be gracious to yourself. I feel like so many women are hard on themselves. People cry or break down or fall to depression because they don't think they are good enough moms. If you have a child, you're a perfect mom. You're the perfect mom for that child. Even if you don't have children, you are doing the best that you can as a mother, as a wife, as a career person. I don't think anybody, well, I expect that you are not intentionally negligent. So it means that you are actually trying to give your best. And that is enough, guys. If you are doing your best, that is enough. You can't get everything done all at once. So be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up when you can't get some things done, guys. Celebrate your achievements. Celebrate your little milestones, okay? And trust the process and watch yourself grow. It's so important that as women, even though we support each other, we should also support ourselves, you know. Support yourself in manner of appreciating how far you've come, appreciating how much you're able to do, and knowing that you are actually doing your best and things will only get better. So like I said, I think it was my first point about being relentlessly optimistic. So even with yourself, be positive about how you feel about yourself. Don't stress out too much about the things that you can't necessarily control. Just give life your best. Take one day at a time. And as you take care of your family, of your career, of your business, of your everything else you have going on, it's so critical that we also take care of ourselves. That's something I'm learning to do. I'm learning to also take care of myself. This is a productivity hack because if I'm healthy, I can get everything else done. So I'm prioritizing my health so I can stay sane. I can be in a good state of mind to get other things done. I hope that makes sense to you guys. So yeah, I think that is all I wanted to share with you today. I hope you found them useful and I hope you can relate with all these hacks. As women, as busy women, I know that things can get crazy sometimes. Yeah, my life can get crazy sometimes for sure, but just knowing what works for you will help you go on every challenge that might come your way and you come out victorious. So thanks for watching to the very end. I hope I haven't bored you. I hope you've enjoyed these productivity hacks. I hope that you can learn a thing or two from them. I would love to read from you in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Let me know what works for you. Share a few hacks that you use in your life right now. I would really like to hear from you. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. It helps my channel grow, and please make sure to subscribe. See you on the next video. Bye.